Let's talk next to Alistair Jones, the independent political commentator. Alistair, Starmer won a landslide majority 2 years ago. Why has he gone?
He's gone now because of the craziness of the UK Parliament and also the UK media. What has been interesting is you heard the comments there from your correspondent from people around world leaders about how impressed they were with Starmer, and in his resignation speech he gave a long list of just some of the achievements that he's led his government to. But none of that has resonated with the UK public. The UK media, for the most part, are looking for anything that he does wrong and playing that up. So, for example, the appointment of Peter Mandelson as the ambassador to the United States. He was slated for that, but interestingly, the leader of the opposition and the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, both supported that appointment. And it was amazing how quickly they've U-turned and then attacked Starmer for that mistake. So there's been a whole lot of people just looking for the negatives, and he's not been able to control that agenda, that news agenda that most prime ministers are normally able to do.
These weren't simply domestic problems, though, were they? President Trump had a rather difficult relationship with Prime Minister Starmer and seemed to announce Starmer's resignation before Starmer announced it. I mean, how difficult has the governing of the UK been in the shadow of Trump?
I think it's been very, very difficult indeed, and the fact that Starmer was willing to stand up to Trump when he attacked Iran, there was a big issue there. In particular, a number of UK politicians attacking him for not standing by our biggest ally, our most important ally. But the problem has been is that the UK sees it's having a special relationship with the USA, and in a special relationship, sometimes it is important to tell your best friend if you're doing something wrong. And Starmer had an ability to do that, and Donald Trump did not like that. Yet what we actually saw was plaudits from around the world for Starmer's international statesmanship in standing up so diplomatically to Donald Trump.
This isn't just a British problem, though, is it? I mean, other countries, I mean, we just have to look across to Europe, struggle to find longer-term political stability. Why is that?
I think it is to do with, dare I say, a fickle voting population, but also how difficult it is to actually control a news agenda. With social media now being so prolific and AI being so important and fake news appearing all over the place, it is becoming hugely difficult, if not impossible, for governments to actually control a news agenda and actually get their story across. It's far easier for opposition politicians to throw brickbats at everything that's going on, saying what's wrong, what's bad, and this is going on around the world. And basically governments are having to respond to all of that, because if they don't, they're clearly hiding something, and then the news agenda just goes off on all sorts of weird and wonderful tangents.
There will be a new Prime Minister. Will anything change? The same old problems won't disappear, will they?
I think we will have almost exactly the same problems in the UK. The one difference being that Andy Burnham has a slightly better public image, public persona. He appears to have more personality than Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer always appeared very dour, very drab, a lawyer, boring. But he was the perfect antidote to the craziness that we had in this country when we had Boris Johnson leading us, where his flippancy and his craziness had been an election winner, but were also phenomenally bad as a Prime Minister. So Starmer was the antidote, but it transpires that the people don't like that antidote.
For those who aren't experienced in the world of Westminster politics, perhaps watching outside the UK, does there now have to be a general election?
No. The only way that the time needs to call a general election is 5 years after Parliament is reconvened after the last general election, or if the government loses a vote of no confidence, or if the Prime Minister decides to call a snap election, and that's most unlikely to happen. The Labour Party do not have to have another election for another 3 years, basically, so Andy Burnham, assuming he becomes the new leader of the Labour Party and thus the Prime Minister, has got a largely free hand to do what he wants, but all the opposition parties will be demanding a general election because they'll say he doesn't have a personal mandate. The reality is he doesn't need it.
Alistair, thank you. Good to see you. Alistair Jones, the independent political analyst.